So, welcome to SciWorx. This is a little experiment I'm doing on live streaming. I'm just wondering if I can churn out videos a bit faster if I do live streaming instead of recording them, sending them to Premiere, edit, then upload, and la-da-da-da-da. So I'm trying this out first. And we just got back from our Owens River Valley expedition where we went through bristlecone pine forest across the burning desert into the volcanic tablelands north of Bishop, California. What else we did? We visited the Owens River Radio Observatory. Had a just wonderful time, but I'm just sunburned. I mean, look at my mouth. And I got it's like I came off one of those westerns where the guy has an empty canteen for 30 miles. You know, horse is dead and all like that. That's kind of how I feel right now. So anyway, typically right now, I'm really just getting, please excuse the production value. I'm just trying to get used to the choices of what's available in the video streaming. I got a cheapo HD Logitech camera going through USB, and that's where the microphone is too. So anyway. So I went through some of today's top science stories, and there's some really fascinating ones. Let me start with Mary Jackson. Mary Jackson was she was a real person that worked for NASA. She was one of the first Black NASA engineers. She was in the movie Hidden Figures. If you've haven't seen Hidden Figures, I definitely think you should go see it. I hardly recommend it. She was portrayed by Janelle Monáe, which is a fabulous singer. I've actually bought her music. She's just amazing. Anyway, NASA is going to name headquarters after her, their first Black female engineer. And this is going to be the one in Washington, D.C. And this was announced today. I'm not sure how this got by the current administration with all the anti-Black Lives Matter craziness coming out of the presidential Twitter account. But this is very well deserved. Mary Jackson was fundamental to the United States getting into space at all. Brilliant design engineer. And the kudos this country can never pay her back, and this is just a small scratch of what America can do to memorialize the amazing things she did for all of us. From the statement, I read, hidden no more, we will continue to recognize the contributions of women, African Americans, and people of all backgrounds who have made NASA's successful history of exploration possible. Mary W. Jackson was part of a group of very important women who helped NASA succeed in getting American astronauts into space. Mary never accepted the status quo. She helped break barriers and open opportunities for African Americans and women in the field of engineering and technology. Again, if you haven't seen Hidden Figures, go see it. I'm sure it's streaming someplace, or just go buy the DVD. Just or buy it off of Apple TV or something. It's one of those things. If you're a technology nut like I am, you just need to go own it. Another really interesting story in the news today is something that I've heard of the term, but I like seeing it used more because we're in, of course, the coronavirus pandemic globally, and scientists are looking at different ways. I guess scientists are looking at the environment and wildlife, flora and fauna both, of how this stopping of our usual activities is having on the planet. They actually have a term for this. It's called Anthropause. Anthropause, very, very interesting word. And because of the global scale, temporary shutdown of human activity, I'm going to just read directly from the BBC News. Coronavirus. Wildlife scientists examine the great human pause. This is by a contributor, Victoria Gill, science correspondent for the BBC. Measuring the impact, they say, will reveal ways in which we can share our incredibly crowded planet. The outline of the mission is in the journal Nature, Ecology, and Evolution, a very prestigious journal. They outline urgent steps to allow scientists to learn as much as possible from the sudden absence of humans in many landscapes, including ensuring that researchers have access and permission to carry out their work and can gain access to information about human movement as well as animal tracking data. Now, this is a very unique time. And so I think this is a call out to scientists to study it while you can, because let's just hope this is not a repeat. This is not something that's going to repeat again anytime soon. And I think this kind of data will really go a long way to show us the way out of the mess we've made of the planet. I mean, we're all still alive. Here we are. The planet is healing. And there's a lot of things that we are no longer doing that contributes to the destruction. But how long can we continue on destroying the planet and not take steps like these? Hopefully there's a lot of things we can learn about human activity that will guide us in creating a good, solid future for us all with high quality living standards and protect the planet. Scientists have always said it's possible, but now it's kind of been, we've never really had the courage or had political leaders that had the courage to see this through. Now it's kind of being forced on us. So let's see where that leads us. Back to the article. Professor Christian Roots of the University of St. Andrews is president of the International Biologging Society. Not blogging society, biologging society. He pointed out that biologgers, small tracking devices fitted to animals in order to record their movements and other behavior, have been collecting information already in the habitats all around the world throughout the pandemic. Quoting, "There is a really valuable research opportunity here, one that's been brought about by the most tragic of circumstances. But it's one I think we can't afford to miss." And he is so right. So even if you're not hooked, if you don't have access to any biologging equipment, feel free to just watch stuff in your backyard. I mean, you guys with bird feeders, how do you start taking notes on what you start seeing? What's visiting your feeders, what's visiting your flowers, and see how if there's any changes. Are there new species you haven't seen in a couple years? Zooming bin, write that down. Find somebody at Cornell University you can send to their ornithology lab, and because at least collect the data. We'll figure out what to do with it later, but at least collect the data best you can. And the third story I want to talk about today is astronomical in nature, and this is just this stuff just always breaks my brain because it's. Let me just read you the title. Black neutron star discoveries change astronomy. Again, from the BBC. Scientists have discovered an astronomical object that has never been observed before. Now, we've got a lot of eyes on the sky. A lot of eyes on the sky. And when you see something that no one's seen before or cataloged, it kind of gets pretty interesting. As I mentioned, our recent expedition to the Owens Valley, we spent a night sky watching. And this is the first time I've been sky watching for about maybe 15 years. And my first comment about that is, where the hell did all the satellites come from? I mean, we were out in the deep, dark desert, and you could just throw your binoculars up at any random portion of the sky, and there's a satellite just speeding across. Now, 15, 20 years ago, you used to go sky watching, you'd see a satellite, and it was, oh, look, there's a satellite. Wow, did you see it? Now it's like, God, there's another damn satellite. You could see, I saw 2 or 3 crossing, just gliding by, and a third one coming right behind them at the same time. That's kind of a lot of satellite nip in the sky. End of satellite pollution rant. Back to the article. It is more massive than collapsed stars, known as neutron stars, but has less mass than black holes. Now, black holes are probably the most dense object in the galaxy. A black hole, it doesn't get much denser than that. But these black neutron stars were not thought to be possible, and the ideas of how neutron stars and black holes form will need to be rethought if this thing actually turns out that can be validated. Discovery was made by an international team using gravitational wave detectors in the United States and Italy. Charlie Hoy, a PhD from Cardiff University in the UK, involved in the study, said the new discovery would transform our understanding. Speaking to the BBC, he said, "We can't rule out any possibilities. We don't know what it is, and this is why it's so exciting, because it really does change our field." Mr. Hoy is part of an international team working for the LIGO Virgo Scientific Collaboration. The international group, which has strong UK involvement, backed by the Science and Technology Facilities Council, has laser detectors several kilometers long that are able to detect minute ripples in space-time caused by the collision of massive objects in the universe. Laser detectors several kilometers long. I can't fit that in my kitchen, but I'd love to play with it, and I don't think I'll ever get access time, so I have to kind of live vicariously through Mr. Hoy. Late August, the instruments detected a collision of a black hole 23 times the mass of our sun with an object of only 2.6 solar masses. That makes the lighter object more massive than the heaviest type of dad star, or neutron star, previously observed in just over 2 solar masses. But it was also lighter than the lightest black hole previously observed, of around 5 solar masses. So here's this massive object. It's kind of not over in this category. It's kind of over this category. And we really didn't think there was any kind of place in this dead space between these two categories for another celestial object to fit, because no one's really seen one before. So why try to come up with the math to describe that phenomenon? Well, Mr. Hoy, don't you have your work cut out for you? Astronomers have been searching for such objects in what they've come to call the mass gap, that gap we were talking about. Writing in the Journal of the Astrophysics Journal Letters, the research team believes that of all the possibilities, the object is most likely to be a light black hole. Light black hole. Is that like skim milk? I mean, light black hole, man, that is like a... Somebody really needs to work on their terminology over there. I mean, light black hole is like low fat, skim, high protein. But I mean, you start thinking of things that's just like black hole, and they're so monstrously large and massive and have such insane gravitational numbers that light black hole just means it, I don't know. It's black neutron star sounds like a much better word for light black hole. I'm just saying. Just saying. Having collided, back to the article, having collided with the large black hole, the object no longer exists. However, there should be further opportunities to learn more about these mass gap objects from future collisions, according to Professor Stephen Fairhurst, also at Cardiff. It is a challenge for us to determine what it is, he told BBC. This is the lightest black hole ever, or it's the heaviest neutron star ever. Black hole, neutron star, but there's this gap in the middle where none of that stuff is really kind of can't exist. And now there's something in the middle, and well, everyone's all kind of freaked out, and I'm pretty sure there's some whiteboards over at the universities in the UK trying to sort this We don't know a lot about the nuclear physics of neutron stars, so people who are looking for exotic equations that explain what goes on inside them might be thinking, maybe this is evidence that we can get a much heavier neutron stars. We don't know. The science continues. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe to more content. And until next time, I'll be your lab partner. Take care. See you. Bye. Now, how do I turn this thing off? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I want to end.